Sweden is often lauded for its progressive stance on gender equality and sexual rights. Yet, beneath this celebrated image lies a complex reality, where bold legal reforms have produced outcomes that are both lauded and deeply criticized. This is the paradox of Sweden's approach to sexual freedom. In 1999, Sweden enacted the Sex Purchase Act, criminalizing the buying of sex, not its selling. This groundbreaking law aimed to dismantle prostitution by targeting demand, viewing it as a form of violence against women. It was a radical shift, intended to protect vulnerable individuals and promote gender equality. The law's proponents argued it would reduce human trafficking and exploitation. They believed that by making the purchase of sex illegal, the market itself would shrink, thereby diminishing the need for sex work. This legislative model has since inspired similar laws in other countries. 2 decades later, Sweden further solidified its progressive image with the 2018 consent law. This legislation explicitly states that sex must be consensual, meaning active agreement must be present for any sexual act. Silence or passivity can no longer be interpreted as consent. This law aimed to clarify and strengthen protections against sexual assault, shifting the burden of proof to ensure explicit consent. It was a direct response to global movements advocating for clearer definitions of sexual autonomy and bodily integrity. Despite their good intentions, these laws have generated complex real-world effects. While the Sex Purchase Act has been credited with reducing street prostitution, it has also pushed sex work further underground. This shift can make sex workers more vulnerable to exploitation and violence, as they operate in less visible and regulated environments. Enforcement gaps also emerge, as police resources are often stretched and the focus remains on buyers. For sex workers, the stigma associated with their profession can intensify, making it harder to access social services or report crimes without fear of judgment or further marginalization. Advocates for the Sex Purchase Act highlight its role in challenging patriarchal norms and reducing demand for exploitation. They point to studies suggesting a decrease in human trafficking and a stronger societal message against sexual commodification. These groups often emphasize the inherent harm in sex work. Conversely, critics, including many sex worker rights organizations, argue the law endangers sex workers by forcing them into isolation. They contend that criminalizing clients makes interactions riskier and reduces opportunities for safe practices. These groups advocate for decriminalization, focusing on health and safety. Consider a situation where a sex worker faces violence. Under the current framework, reporting the crime can be complicated. While the sex worker is not criminalized, the client is, which can deter reporting if the worker fears further police scrutiny or loss of income. This illustrates where policy intended to help can inadvertently create new vulnerabilities. For policymakers considering similar reforms, 3 lessons stand out. First, laws targeting demand can push activities underground, increasing risks for those involved. Second, consent laws require robust public education to be truly effective. Third, engaging directly with affected communities, like sex workers, is crucial for understanding policy impacts. The complexities of Sweden's laws offer valuable insights into the challenges of social engineering through legislation. For a deeper dive into these issues, explore the resources linked below.